Is this about New Orleans being a fucking food desert?
Filming in the grocery store with my gang.
Is it going?
It's going. Is audio going?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thank you so much. Of course.
Okay, well, thank you.
How open do they be open?
The fridge? It's a fridge. So the fridge is just the fridge.
It's just
you open the
not
fridge, there's food in it, you close it, you go away.
Okay.
Turn the drink off. Okay. You ready? It's up to you. This is your interview. For us and for whatever you want the people to know, how would you describe yourself?
If you notice it,
You sure?
yeah, no,
Yeah, take a lap. So.
Well, did your parents grow up here?
Yeah, both my mom and dad are born and raised here in New Orleans, and I'm born and raised here too. Currently live in the 7th Ward, sadly, but that's true.
You know about me and my neighborhood? You know, when people ask me where I'm from, I'm like, New Orleans, and it's just ghetto, you know? I ain't gonna care.
And what like neighborhoods or districts would you claim?
Honestly, anytime I get this answer, I was raised, my parents was real stay in the house. So I was born uptown, but I would say most of my childhood, I was raised in the 9th Ward. But I don't really claim it for real because I don't be in the streets, you know? So, yeah.
All right, let's begin. So, Keisha, how would you describe yourself?
I am a young person who lives in the city of New Orleans.
Can you say something into it?
Hello?
Okay. Thank you.
Like, we have a lot of fast food. Like, maybe every corner you turn, there's a Popeyes, then you might turn again, there's a McDonald's, and then a Burger King. And nothing is wrong with eating those every so often, but then again, it's not healthy for us because they are processed foods. So the East most definitely needs improvement when it does come to like sustainable food.
I barely make a living. Like, I'm not really making no money. I work, as much as I work, you'll think I have like something enough to like buy food, and I like trip out of like the expense coming out of my pocket. But no, I'm like, shit, do I pay for this? I like go without like having money for stuff. So it's like sometimes that conversation with myself.
Yeah, and I stay with my mom because rent is through the roof.
So we're gonna go into the section now that's more focused on food.
Okay.
Walk me through what you eat in a week, and if you can, where you get it from.
Okay, it really depends because, like I said, my mom, she's a cook. So sometimes we might eat really simple meals, or other times we might eat like really extravagant, maybe 2 to 3 course meals. Majority of my food maybe comes from like a Walmart, a Dollar Tree, a Dollar General, Family Dollar, Winn-Dixie, Rouse's. And if we're feeling more like outdoorsy and we like might go on like the West Bank or in Metairie, we might go to Aldi's, Costco, Sam's to like get big bulks of food.
So would you say you guys mainly cook at home, or is it more dine-in, takeout, delivery, anything like that?
I would say 75% is cooking at home, and then maybe the other 25% like fast food and dining.
Majority of the food I buy comes from Walmart. And I only shop from Walmart because it's really cheap. But it's not really the first place I would go to buy produce, but it's what I could afford. And yeah.
So when we make groceries, we get a lot of food to cook. I'm not a snack person for real. Like I eat snacks, but I don't really eat candy and nothing like that. So we don't really buy too much of that. But we really buy like food to cook, like chicken, broccoli, fish, stuff like that, to make a meal to last. And what else is there?
Like maybe where your food comes from.
Like where I buy it from?
Yeah, you want to
Oh,
that.
Walmart. When Dixie, it depends on the store, honestly. But 9 times out of 10, I get all my food from Walmart.
How often you say you go grocery shopping?
Once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month.
So you're a smart shopper.
Yeah, all my groceries last a month. So when I do it again, I have extra, so I don't have to buy the same stuff.
Do you feel like it's any different accessing food for you at this age than it was for your parents when they were your age?
I think so. I think so.
Do you have a sense of what's changed?
I guess like higher like groceries, like stuff went up like a whole lot from when, yeah, the grocery prices went up from when they was younger to now. So yeah, I've definitely seen a spike in prices.
Bag of chips that we used to get used to be, I think, like $2.25. Now it's like, I think, like $2.95 or $3. So things are really getting expensive. Like we might get maybe, I want to say 15 items or less, and we're spending over $100 maybe. So it's getting really expensive.
Either way, all the grocery stores are really far. Circle Food Store is not like really a food store. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why the fuck is the like the produce in there? It's kind of pricey. They don't really have a big selection. It's no diss to them. They doing what they can, but I can't necessarily afford to grocery shop in there. I only grocery shop at Walmart because it's convenient and it's cheap. And I feel like Trader Joe's is equally as cheap, but it's way in Metairie. And I don't have a car to make that 7-mile trip over into Metairie to make those groceries. So it's best for me to just shop over here. And then it's some things that they offer at Trader Joe's that is just like, I don't know, this could be a little bit cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't shop at Whole Foods or Robert's or what else. Those two markets or those two grocery stores, they're not affordable. They're just like, you know, quality food that you would like to have access to, but it's so fucking expensive. Yeah.
And since you spent so long in Gentilly, how would you say that it's different accessing food in Gentilly versus in the 7th Ward?
I would say in Gentilly, since we wasn't really that far from Walmart, me and my mama would like walk there. Relative to us now in the 7th Ward, we would have to catch 2 buses just to get to Walmart. So that's really like a big difference. Like, I think it affected a lot because most times we wouldn't have like the bus fare to get on a bus and go relative to walking, because walking to me was a lot healthier. And you know, when my mom wasn't, you know, in pain a lot, we would just, you know, get up and walk.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get to Walmart?
I mean, it's right there. So depending on when you wait for it, sometimes they be on time, sometimes they don't. But I think like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track, but it don't be on time like that. I ain't do it in a long while though, cause I'd rather catch an Uber with groceries than catch the bus with groceries. So.
What would you say are the biggest obstacles to accessing food for you and your family?
I want to say like distance wise.
So distance and commuting,
Yeah.
transportation,
Yeah.
and what are your personal solutions to the transportation and commuting issues?
For one, I would like the buses to run on time like they're supposed to and not be late like they know how to do, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as that, I have no other idea how to, shorten the commute there.
So you don't have really like any plan B. If the bus isn't on time, that's it. That affects your whole day.
Well, it don't really affects the whole day. It's just like that slight convenience that makes you extremely annoyed, but it's something you have to like deal with and be like, okay, let's just wait till either later in the day or wait till like tomorrow to do it if we have other stuff to do today and not just be wasting so much time to get to this one place when we can be doing something else.
And then, are there any other places aside from the grocery stores or the restaurants that you mentioned that you get food from?
Um, Not other fast food places. I don't eat out too much. Maybe like Wingstop or churches. That's about it.
We're including community food access spots. That's
Like this restaurant?
no, that's the two community is interesting, but these are places that are providing either meals or groceries, like those food distros, like the food.
What? I love their food.
What about alternative food sources like food pantries or gardens, community gardens, things of that sort?
I'm not like familiar with any like community gardens where I could just go and get food from. Sometimes I do see things around the city, but like I'm not too familiar.
That they're providing school meals for they're because the summer school meals got canceled. They're providing
Yeah.
school meals for young people.
And Boucherie is providing, maybe St. George is paying for that because they rich over there.
Yeah. But then we also have all the community fridges tagged too. So this is me just trying to show you that I don't know if this is close to you, but there are community fridges near you. I don't know if you've ever seen them. This one is on, where is this? On Marigny, on near Winfield. This one's on Lafruz, on Broad. Does that feel out of your neighborhood?
No. Nope. That was louder than I thought. What the fuck?
Have you seen or heard of a food pantry slash fridge in your neighborhood?
Like not inside my house.
A food pantry is like somewhere you go that offers free food.
No.
I have went to a food co-op with Burns before to go and get like some free stuff that was like available, like a food pantry. And there's a few of those here in the city, but the problem is I don't have a car to go and get it. And then also I don't have like no, it's too fucking hot for me to be taking a bus with a fucking food basket.
Growing up, we used to have people that used to like deliver food and stuff, but I guess that stopped. So no, we just buy our food now. I don't hear a lot of the things that they used to do growing up with the giving out the food and stuff for the neighborhoods and the kids. They don't do that no more for real, or not that I know of. So I feel like if the most of the community knew about certain things that New Orleans had going on with food pantries and stuff like that, it really wouldn't be an issue. But everybody don't talk about it, so we wouldn't really know.
My name is Amanda Toops. My husband, Chef Isaac Toops, and I own Toops Community Restaurant. We're also the co-founders of the nonprofit Toops Family Meal.
Selena Bolton, Common Ground Relief, SELENA BOLTON.
I like to think of Family Meal as a vehicle to bridge the gap of hunger and food insecurity in New Orleans. That's the main goal. We do that in a variety of ways.
What are some of those varieties?
Well, it just depends. I mean, over the years, we're just now legit nonprofit in the last few months, but we started during COVID, and it was sort of pirate ship at that point. We did what we could do, and we did it however we could do it to get people fed. So it's anywhere from a mom quietly reaching out to me and me feeding her out the back door, out the back kitchen, sending her groceries, or me mobilizing social media to get people to deliver food to a single parent, to what it's become now, which is a very large thing with infrastructure and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So when COVID hit in March of 2020, Family Meal is the meal that service industry people eat together between lunch and dinner service. So when we had to lay off our cooks and servers, we told them to come back every day for Family Meal so we could eat. We didn't know we needed to be a part at that point and check in on everybody. And they quickly brought their roommates and their roommates' roommates and their family members, and it really was not an exaggeration that within 5 days coverage were bare in New Orleans. That's how food insecure the city is. So we mobilized, and over the course of 18 months, we were able to give out about 100,000 meals into the community.
Common Ground Relief was established in 2005 in direct response to Hurricane Katrina, and it was providing that immediate disaster relief to a community that was hardest hit, and it took the longest to recover. In fact, it's still recovering. After Hurricane Katrina and the neighborhood started to come back, Common Ground Relief then started to focus on wetland restoration and how we can foster stewardship within the community and not just as an organization. So it was super important to address the elements that got us into this disaster area of needing to provide assistance to the community and come together as a community to recover from such a devastating disaster, albeit man-made on certain levels. And so the food pantry that we now have was in direct response to another disaster, which was COVID.
So Isaac and I said, well, we're going to bring back Family Meal. And so we started sort of doing outreach in the community in March of this year and saying to people, are you food insecure? How many children are in your household? Can you get to the restaurant? You know, what are your needs? Is it cold food, hot food, groceries? What are your needs in your household? Are you home in the summer? Are the kids home alone in the summer? And so we did an Easter drive where we fed 1,500 New Orleanians Easter dinner, but secondly, selfishly, for me, it was a data mining process. I got all the data from them and I really studied it and researched, and the one thing that I stunningly found, I didn't expect to find, was that transportation insecurity was just as bad as food insecurity. Right. So if you think about it, you have a mother who's got 3 small babies or 4 small babies or anything like that, has to get on the city bus to get up to a food drive that's in one location and carry possibly a food box if they haven't run out already, and then get back on the city bus and get home. It's almost impossible. It's physically impossible. Or is that mom having to miss a day of work once a week to get over there to possibly get food for her kids? So we decided to really address the problem in a way that is different from anybody that I know is doing it right now in the city, and that is to deliver directly to their homes, to each child, not like just spots in parts of town, but to their homes directly. And so that's what we're doing.
Understanding where we are as an organization geographically, we sit in Orleans Parish, just on the other side of the canal, but the closest grocery store is in St. Bernard. I think Common Ground Relief was founded on the principles of we have to come together as a community to help each other. There were so many barriers to getting relief from Hurricane Katrina. I mean, still today, residents who experienced that, survivors of that disaster, are facing barriers in returning back to their homes and their normal lives. And so I think it was really important for us now, providing this service at the free pantry, to make it as low barrier as possible to eliminate some of that A, stigma, B, anxiety. I think having a basic need such as food being met with questions and applications and all of these things just takes away the dignity of being able to survive, which we all are entitled to and we all should have. And so I think making it as low barrier as possible was really important for us. We get calls every day from people who are in need of fresh food and groceries, and they always have a ton of questions about what they will be asked to provide. And it feels really good as an organization to be able to say, please just come.
And if we just took a moment to give very basic needs to our citizens in New Orleans, that a lot of these things can be solved.
And I think it's a matter of fair wages. I think it's a matter of more ethical business practices when it comes to food and the food companies. And I think that's a major part of it. I think making it easier to get healthy items into the hands of these families will benefit not only brain growth in these children, getting the chemicals out of our food. Hey, look, I like mac and cheese too. I'm not saying all the time, but it shouldn't be cheaper to feed your kid trash than it is healthy items. And I think that if I'm imagining things, I imagine a New Orleans where food is so much more accessible and fair. That's what I want to see. Fair. Because there's so many food deserts too. So we have to talk about it from that way. If there's a transportation insecurity and a food desert insecurity, then mom can only get food from the corner store. Her options are not great. So I think combating the food insecurity and the food deserts might be a big step right there. Yeah. Faster and better public transport. More reliable public transportation. Yeah. God.
When I was younger, I didn't feel like food, resources were geared towards me. In my hometown, I couldn't receive healthcare benefits from the government because I didn't have children. And so I just automatically kind of assumed that at a certain age and a certain demographic, getting assistance wasn't for me. And so you bring up a really good point about the youth who aren't even aware of some of these resources, I think because they're not targeted. I think it's a real blind spot in food distribution and food security. I think that's something that really needs to be examined. And when I say targeted, I mean with outreach. Outreach is really important. The community in which you serve and beyond. And some of that skips right over the youth and goes strictly to mothers. They don't even think of, fathers or partners or anything like that. It's just mothers and children. And so I think we can really take a long look at that and rectify that.
And we're talking about a better social safety net, better education, better transportation, and better quality of food availability and accessibility to these kids. If you've got a happy, healthy belly, your brain's developing and working in a much better way, which means you're in school and you're participating and you're learning. You're not thinking about, well, now I've got to go work my job at McDonald's and I'm only going to be able to eat that food today and I didn't have breakfast and, all of those things. So I think providing better social safety nets for our youth in New Orleans is the big first step.
Our final question is kind of from your perspective, thinking about the whole food system. This is food pantries, fridges, community distros, things like Coop's Family Meal, or things like the grocery stores and where they're placed in our neighborhoods. What would you change about the food system of New Orleans to make it a more ethical and just food system for the people?
Like, I feel like it's really a privilege to live really close, like a grocery store. Yeah, I feel like there should be at least 3 in each neighborhood.
For this location where I work, I would absolutely have a grocery store that's Orleans Parish, that is just as stocked and outfitted as any larger grocery store or food chain, with fresh produce and things like just making it healthy food really accessible in this immediate area. I think in general, everybody has that radical idea. We all know that food should be free, but capitalism says otherwise. And so I think being able to work, like you said, hyper focusing on our neighborhoods and then just branching out to, city, parish, state, national. I think the idea of a radius, like this just really general blanket idea of, if you are within this radius, you need a grocery store. Full stop, no questions asked, even if it has to be, subsidized somehow by the government with funding.
Is there anything else you'd like to share or add?
Lower rent. Even though that don't got nothing to do with it. Lower rent.
Maybe it does have something to do with it.
Yeah.